And our guests are from your left. The album cover artist, photographer, filmmaker, and good friend of Bob Marley, Neville, Garrick. Welcome, Neville, Mr. Bob. And Bob Marley's son, Rohan Marley. And this, of course, is director Kevin Macdonald. Welcome to Berlin.
People have been trying to make this particular documentary for a long time. Two other directors started work, or were going to start work on it before I did. So the producer, Steve Bing, who is the one who had the idea, I think, to make the film to begin with from Shangri-La, he is the one who bought the rights to the music and who negotiated with the Marley family. And my interest in Marley, I was going to make another film about Bob for his 60th birthday, which was a few years ago. But it didn't happen. I talked to Chris Blackwell, who was the record producer, who worked with Bob about doing it. For various reasons, it didn't happen. But they came to me when they needed a director for this film, and I'm very, very, very happy that they did, because it was a wonderful opportunity, a great experience to make a film about such an important artist. And to me, Bob is really one of the greatest cultural figures of the 20th century. I don't think anyone in popular music has had the same lasting impact as he has. Anywhere you go in the world, you find Bob Marley's image, his music, his wisdom, literally anywhere you go. So it's nice to be a small part of that, and hopefully to bring to people around the world a sense of who this man was as a human being, not just as the legend, not just as the great icon that we all know him as now, but as a human being, as a man, and try and understand him. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to understand him simply myself.
Thank you. There's a question on the right, please.
Ursula Winkler, German press agency. I have two questions, one to Mr. Marley and one to Mr. Macdonald. Mr. Marley, is there a very special moment when you think of your father? Is there one moment which comes to your mind, or what are your memories like when you think of him? And the other question to Mr. Macdonald is, you made that great film about a great singer. Tonight, another great singer died, Whitney Houston. Can you imagine to do a film about her, and what do you think about her?
I'll answer the first one. Well, the greatest thing I know of my father is this, one afternoon, myself and my brother Stephen, one Sunday afternoon, we were in the yard playing, and normally during the week, the guys from off the street, the guys that they wash the windows on the cars, they would always come to Hope Road, and they're acrobats. They can do flips and all kinds of things we can't do, But, they have nothing still, but yet they're still very talented. So, my father would give them some money during the week. They want some food, something to eat. Well, one Sunday, it was myself and Stephen and our father in the yard. Well, the gates were closed. So the guys, they all came to the gate, and we told them, today, it's not your day. Today it's our day with our father, Sorry, you can't come in, So unfortunately, our dad, he was looking at us through the window upstairs. So he opened the window and he said, Stephen, Rohan, come upstairs, So obviously we go upstairs, and he gave us some money, And he said, you see those boys outside the gate? Open the gate and let them in. And there was a guy that he sells ice cream, fudgy, we call him. He says, you buy them ice cream and you watch them eat. So from that, what we learned is that my father told us this, you're inside the gate, you're okay. I'm here for the ones outside the gate. So growing up, we learned that my father, all children belong to him. We may call him daddy, but we're just one of the many,
Very nice story. I can't comment on Whitney Houston. I'm sure there's a great film to be made about her, but it's probably a very sad film, a very different film than this. Although, obviously, Bob's life ended prematurely and very sadly. It's, I hope, an uplifting story, an uplifting film. The message that he gave was very uplifting. I think maybe Whitney Houston has struggled rather a lot in the recent years, so, but I don't know enough about her to be able to pass comment.
Okay. So I have a question that maybe Mr. Garrick can comment on. I was not really surprised, but it was quite interesting for me to see in this movie that all these women, ex-wives and ex-lovers, they're all still friendly. They're all talking very friendly, and nobody is saying yes, you know.
You want me to answer that?
Yeah, no, one of you.
Well,
I mean, I
can
really
answer
liked
that,
it, but
being that I'm one of the children of the many women. Well, growing up with many mothers, I should say, not many, not too many. I mean, you have, in life, you cannot determine when love comes or when love goes, You love when you experience love, you love, And out of love manifests his children, And growing up as one of his 11 children, we learned that every mother is our mother, Because mothers, they nurture you. And we learned that brothers and sisters, we're all brothers and sisters. We don't have half of anything. It's a whole. So we were never conflicted with each other. It's a family. So we didn't grow that way, because we don't know our father's personal life. We don't know why he loved this woman, why he loved this, we don't know. But all we know is that we are the fruits of that labor and the fruits of his love. So we were taught to love each other, and that all mothers are our mother. So I call Mama Rita Mommy, I call Damien's mother Mommy. I call my mother Mommy. I call, everyone's mother Mommy. So it's just mothers to us, We didn't have that. No. It was just let's living and learning.
maybe, yeah.
My question goes to Mr. Neville. In my life, I met, I think, the three greatest Rasta: Peter Tosh, Eddie Grant, and Bob Marley. Mm-hmm. But you were behind them, because you were behind them.
Yeah.
So, how much did they learn from your art, from your way of telling them, hey, kids, this is life. You have to do this, this, and this. How much time did you spend with them to talk to them? Because I know Peter Tosh was a really hard guy. I met him in Milan. It was hard.
Well, I had this fortunate experience where when I started working with Bob and Bunny and Peter, I kind of created my job. They didn't know what an art director was. Art director, what's that? People used to just make their records, send it to the record company, and the record company packaged it and marketed it. Well, I came in and said, well, this is different. This is Rasta. So we have our own concept. We can't allow the record company to determine, and visuals was very important, because before you hear the record, you usually look at the cover, and if it's interesting, especially if it's a new artist, you will purchase it a lot on the strength of what the cover is. If the cover looks good, well, maybe the record is good. And they kind of left it up to me. There were only a few occasions where Bob would say, well, can you change this or change that? They basically just said, I did it, I showed them, they liked it, and, we went to press. So I didn't have a problem. The problem was, they say a picture is worth more than 1,000 words. But it depends on whose word you try to picture. And these were very prolific writers. So I always tried to come up with something that would somewhat reflect what was in the record.
Okay.
Is that good enough?
The next question, yes, please.
Rebecca Ten, Currents Magazine, Hamburg. I just want to say, yesterday I saw the film in a totally packed cinema, and I think I counted at least 60 songs in the film. And you can correct me if that's wrong, but
50.
How many?
50.
50 songs.
Well, 50 of Bob's songs, and maybe a
50,
few by other people.
And a
but
few
yeah.
by other people, yeah.
Yeah.
So the music is fantastic. And the guy I was sitting beside, I said, have you ever seen Bob Marley live? And he said, I was 2 years old. So you can see that this legend really has lived on. And my question is, at the end you were talking about his money. And I think there's a Bob Marley fund. And is that true? And what
foundation.
do you know? What can you tell us something about this foundation?
Well, money. I mean, we didn't grow up thinking about money. We grew up thinking about how we can help each other and how we can help people that are less fortunate. So with the work that we do today, we continue to do what we've seen with our eyes from our father, you know. We know that our father was a man of a giving conscience, a caring man that, you know, every Friday at Hope Road, people come for help, whether they want to send their children to school, whether someone needs clothing, food, want to, you know, for, you know, when your people pass on, you know, things has to happen and take care of that. So we as his children, yes, you know, when you have certain things, they generate income, you know, generate money, as you call it. But with that, what you call it, we utilize that to make things greater for other people that are less fortunate because, you know, we were raised to think that way, and that's the way we know, that it's a means to an end. So it's a bridge. You know, that's just a way to help my brother, man. You know, my father says, you know, if you're up, look down and help your brother, man, you know, the man that is down. So that's just what money is for. We utilize that money to help people, you know, because you have to give to receive, you know. Well, like I tell you, people that needs help, because the one that need help, they'll come for help, you know. And then, like, for instance, today, we have a charity, it's called onelove.org. And it's an affinity program where we partner up with Charity Water, we partner up with Invisible Children, we partner up with Little Kids That Rock, and it's geared towards youth, peace, and planet. So people with the same ideals as the family, we try to partner up with everyone. So the companies that we have created since then, part of all of our proceeds goes towards that charity, so we can continue to do our Father's work, you know?
Thank you.
So that's money.